Dan Leach back here in New York City at Benzinga's Financial Tech and FODA Conference. Having a great time, about to get better with my man Brian Daly, the CEO of Groundfloor. Great to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
It's the pleasure and honor is all mine. Let's talk about Groundfloor. Fascinating stuff you guys are doing, and you've really worked hard to create a lot of success at Groundfloor.
Look, it turns out the younger you are, the more important you think alternative investments are to your portfolio. So people, as they take more risk in cryptocurrency or options trading or different corners of the public markets, are also looking for that counterbalance.
Right.
We created a product that is in a category that everybody understands, which is real estate, or people aspire to. And it's done really well for us and for our investors over the last 10 years.
Yeah, when you look at the alternatives and how you guys have kind of used that as the platform to have the success, talk about some of those alternatives and why they have worked so well when maybe other situations have not worked so well.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've had an environment over the last 10 years growing the company where, we hit COVID, right? People feared what might happen in the public markets in COVID. There was a lot of fear about what would happen with equities. Real estate investment debt, which is what we offer the individual investor, just kept plugging along with 10%, 11% returns through that period. House prices held up actually really well, right, and actually kind of took off. When interest rates started to skyrocket and inflation was growing, once again, real estate investment debt just kept clipping along, this time at 12%, because it's short-term debt, which means the rates can float up when interest rates increase or when inflation increases. So a lot of people used it as a hedge as their crypto investments were going wild,
right,
or as their options bets maybe weren't paying off. This became sort of the other end of the barbell, if you will. And so people are discovering alternatives generally. They're moving into alternatives. We're a big beneficiary of that because real estate is such a compelling alternative among all the alternatives within alternatives.
Now, I know that it's fascinating, this younger generation of investors, and obviously it's great that there's so many more that are able to do it now as opposed to the past. I'm one of them, but they're really into volatility, aren't they? And how do you counterbalance that with what you guys are doing at Groundfloor?
My friend Anthony Pompliano describes this generation as the volatility generation, right? They love volatility. Whether it's sports betting or whether it's options trading,
action,
right? They got to have the action. I think what they're discovering is sometimes there's a downside to that volatility. Right. Everybody likes volatility, the upside, right? And I think the more you embrace that volatility and hope for the upside, you have to have something in your portfolio that's paying off like clockwork. Our real estate investment debt pays yields of 10, 12, 14%. It pays you back in sort of an average of 9, 10, sometimes 12 months. So you're getting repaid. You're getting a lot of cash flow. Probably 10 to 12 times what the cash flow you'd get from a REIT, for example, which is how a lot of people choose to do it.
Right.
And you're not locked up. You're not concentrated. You're not paying a fund manager. It's a different way of investing and becoming a credit investor. If you're investing in credit, that's a great counterbalance to something like Bitcoin or crypto or options trading.
What do you say to the investor that, some of them are going to want to put a few $100s in, some are going to want to put a few $100,000 in? There really is a range that you guys can help for anybody.
We do. We have investors who have allocated hundreds of thousands and millions. We've had investors who are just getting their first job and have their first $100 or their first $1,000.
That's exciting.
Right? The good news is they can all diversify equally because of the fractionalization. We've broken it down. Look, when we launched it in 2014, the minimum investment per loan was $100. Then we cut it to $10. Now we cut it to $1. And now through our flywheel portfolio, you can get it just like you can with stocks. Like I think you can buy $1 of Amazon stock, right? Here you can buy 1 penny of a real estate investment loan. And does anybody want that? No, people don't want that. What they want is they want to make sure they have thousands of loans in their portfolio so that they're always paying off. You can kind of predict the yield. So that's what technology and regulation has combined to do in this market. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that over the coming decade.
Do me a favor. My favorite book's The Time Machine. So get in that HGL's Time Machine for me, if you will, and take a look forward 5, 10, 15 years. How do you see Groundfloor continue to grow and help so many in this space?
Look, I think there are so many exciting corners of real estate investing and in private credit investing beyond real estate that retail investors are just going to see more and more, right? On our platform, I think there will be a lot of consolidation in the space. we're one of the earliest and largest entrants, so we expect to be a beneficiary of that. We want to offer more product in more formats. I think there's going to come a time when, right now, if you go to an investment advisor, all they're going to offer you are the same name brand funds.
Right.
Whether it's BlackRock, Blackstone, Apollo, whoever it is. And those funds come with a lot of hair on them, a lot of lockup, a lot of redemption limitations. I think the next generation of investors is looking for something better than that, something lower cost, much like Vanguard did with index funds. Yep. I think that's coming to alternatives, and we want to be on the leading edge of that.
I love it, Brian Dowling. Keep doing the yeoman's work. CEO of Groundfloor, so great to talk with you.
Good. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.